What's up, everybody? This is the Gridiron Gilly Show. I'm the host, Gridiron Gilly, and here with me today I have a special guest, the head coach from the West Rusk Raiders, Coach Mata. Coach Mata, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on here.
I'm excited to have you, man. I'm excited for West Rusk football. A little bit I know about West Rusk. We played them. I'm from Joaquin. We played them many years ago. They beat us pretty good many years ago. And ever since then, I've kept up with them. My mom, actually, she's from West Rusk. She's class of '88. So that's another reason why I keep up with them. But the program's been consistent as far as I know. They always get in the playoffs and do pretty good. They usually play past Thanksgiving, man. Can you tell me a little bit about what got you into coaching and how long you've been coaching for and what brought you to West Rusk?
I guess starting off, my mom was a track coach at Kilgore for I don't know how long, 20, 30 years. So, me and my sisters, we spent all our time at the track and at the gym. We were at every game that Kilgore was playing at, whether it was football or volleyball or basketball. Spent our springs at track meets and grew up doing that. So, kind of at an early age, that's where it was led to. Left Kilgore, walked on at U of H down at Houston, played a couple years, walked on, and then after that, kind of decided I want to start working my way towards being a coach. So I became a student assistant there under Dana Dimmel and Coach Davis, Philip Davis. And then when Coach Briles came in and took over, he gave me the chance to stay on and work with him. I worked my way up to coaching inside receivers with him at Houston. When he made the move to Baylor, went over there with him, coached tight ends for a couple of years, got to hang around guys like Kendall Wright and Robert Griffin, Brad Taylor, and Coach McClain up there at Mount Vernon. Now I got to meet him. A bunch of good guys that went on and obviously did a bunch of good things with their lives. I was able to be around them. Actually came back to Kilgore after 2 years there. I got a daughter who we needed help with the family. So we moved back to get closer to my family to get help with her. Coach Wood was, gracious and gave me a chance to go over there and be the offensive coordinator at Kilgore, which, if you speak Kilgore anytime, you know what that's like. You know what you're getting into there. I played football there growing up under Coach Val. So, it was a big honor to go back there and to be able to coach there for 8, 9 years. Obviously we had a couple of good runs in there. We went to the semifinals and state championship 2 back-to-back years. A bunch of great kids there. And then after Kilgore, my son was becoming a freshman. He had already made the move to West Rusk with my wife. She was working over here at the time. Coach Harrison got the job as the head coach, offered me a chance to come over and coach him and be the offensive coordinator. And it's been West Rusk ever since. And you said it, West Rusk has always seemed to have a pretty good history as far as, the alumni to me are the biggest thing. Your mom, all these alumni that come back, it's a big deal to them. I grew up in Overton, went to school in Kilgore, but my weekends were spent out here on this track running behind the bleachers because that's how that old stadium was set up. I can remember the WR in the end zone growing up. So, it's a school rich in tradition, a school rich in history, and I think everybody around here is pretty proud of it, and I know we are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played the very last football game at their old stadium the year that their stands collapsed. I was
Yeah.
like the last game there because I was on JV at that time, but they played all of their home games, I think, at Tatum. I'm glad we don't have to play West Rusk no more. That's exciting for me. I never did like playing those guys. Games were always over by halftime. Let me just say this. I looked at Dave Campbell's. It was the district last year. It was New Diana finished first.
New Diana finished first.
Okay, so you had New Diana, Troop, ARP. You got 4th place.
Yes, sir.
And then Elkhart, Winona, Buffalo. This year they have it Troop, ARP, New Diana, West Rusk, Elkhart, Buffalo, Winona. So you, Elkhart, y'all are the only 2 who stay in the same place. Winona, they dropped to 7. What are your expectations for district, though, Coach?
Well, if you look at our district, it's even when we were winning it, I think we won 24 games in a row one time. But even at that point, Coach, the district was loaded. You look at Troop, they're going to be the same year in and year out. They're going to be loaded. They're going to be well coached. Coach Wells does a great job over there with them. And then you go down the road to ARP, and ARP's a rivalry. I don't think there's any hiding that. They're going to show up. They're going to play. They got hard-nosed kids that come out every Friday and get after it, no matter who they're playing against or what the odds may be against them. They're going to come out and play hard. And then New Diana was just loaded last year. And when you had a coach like Kerry Lane to what they already have, I mean, that obviously you're talking about a program that's going to be steady and making moves all the time. And Coach, I mean, we sit there and we can talk about Elkhart, Buffalo, and Winona, but Coach Cook does a good job over there. Obviously, they're going to be excited. They got new turf now, which was needed. I'm glad they're finally, helping them out a little bit. Elkhart, Coach, was probably our toughest game last year outside of just our normal district that we play every year in and year out. Elkhart was a tough one for us. The score may not be indicative of that, but they played hard. Their kids played hard. And then Buffalo had a bunch of young kids up on varsity last year that made plays, that are capable of making plays. So, I mean, it's not going to be one of those deals where at any point during that season or any point during that district schedule, you're going to look up and be like, okay, we got a week off. We'll be all right. Every Friday is going to be a battle when you play that district.
I'll have Coach Blackman on this evening from Elkhart. I was supposed to have him on last night, but they had practice run late, so I'll knock two of them out. You mentioned Coach McLean a while ago from Mount Pleasant, is it?
Mount Vernon.
Is he at Mount Vernon?
Mount Vernon now, yes, sir.
Okay, I knew it was one of the mounts up north. I'll have him on sometime this year. I've already talked to him, and I'm gonna try to get Kerry Lane as well because Coach Lewis also name dropped him the other night. So I'll try to get up with him and see if he'll do the show with me this year. You mentioned ARP being a rival. That was my next question: is who is the West Rusk Raiders rival? I figured it would be ARP, but tell me a little bit about that rivalry if you know any backstory to it or the history of it.
I honestly, I really don't. Growing up in Overton, that was kind of a big rivalry game for them back in the day. Uh, Obviously, those kind of districts have moved on and changed up and everything. But, I mean, we're right down the road, Coach. I want to say we're 7 miles from them. Troops about 15. So anytime you get inside that area right there, anytime you're inside 15 miles, all these kids know each other. They want to play each other. They've been playing each other in Little League and Little Dribblers forever. So, they grew up basically developing that rivalry since they were 6. And I don't know that there's anything that just sets it off, but anytime you kind of have that kind of location and anything like that, I think it's going to automatically just lead to a natural rivalry.
That's what I expected. I was like, I'm pretty sure their rival is ARP just because we used to be in the district with y'all and y'all are always like the top 2 teams. So that's what I expected. You said you coached at Kilgore, you coached Houston. Did you say you coached at Baylor too?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So you've coached a lot of talented kids and young men, I would say. In your opinion, who do you think the best player you've coached is?
Oh, Lordy.
There's probably several of them.
I was going to say you can go off on a list there, especially when you throw in Houston and Baylor. But if you just want to go Kilgore, you look at your guys like Jonathan Shepard, Buddy Jackson, were 2 big ones. Cooper Coldiron was a quarterback for us the year we went to the semis and went on and played D1 football or baseball at Houston. And then here, there's been a string of them. Tyree was gone before I got here. He left before the year I got here, but obviously, you sit there and he plays for the Raiders now, so he must have been pretty good. We had a good stretch there where we had several athletes that come through here. We won state and track with a good group a couple of years back. With Andon Mata, my son, Jimmy Harper played well, Will Jackson, Jeremiah Smith, Rasta, all those guys. They were fun to be around. They were fun to play with on Friday nights and everything. And they were good in everything, Coach. It wasn't just a football deal. They were passionate about competing, passionate about representing West Rusk, and whether it was checkers or grades or baseball, they were getting after it.
Well, that's all the questions I'll ask you regarding having to think about them. Okay.
All right.
So you're free there. The next question I'll ask you, since you're a football guy, you a college or are you an NFL guy?
Oh, I'm college all the way.
Okay. Me too.
I don't watch NFL, but it's if I'm watching NFL, I'm watching guys like Tyree or guys that I know.
I watch NFL. Like I was telling Coach Lewis the other night, I was always an NFL guy until a few years ago. I got really big into college football. And I always liked college football, but that transition happened where that was my priority over the NFL. So that's my baby. College football is. I actually did a college football NFL deal last night. A video I put up. But you a movie guy?
Oh yeah, that's a big topic of discussion in the coach's office. We normally got a list up on the board. Those Tatum coaches, they'll join in with us every now and then during track season. But yeah, we big movie guy, big TV show guys, big quote guys. So,
Sounds like me. What's your favorite football movie?
favorite football movie. Uh,
I looked up a list the other night after me and Coach Lewis got off, and I was like, man, I missed on a bunch of these because I didn't even think about these.
I mean, you got to start, I think, with probably the program, and then I'm going to go old school probably and go with the I drew a blank on it. The Mean Machine. Adam Sandler remade it.
Oh, Longest Yard.
Longest Yard, but I like the original one a little bit better.
Mm,
And then, shoot, those are really my top two. You got Facing the Giants and all those that are always really good. Any Given Sunday's a solid one. Willie Beeman being from Houston, obviously, that was a big deal for us because Houston got mentioned. But yeah, I got to go with those probably. Those are my tops.
well, that's what the other night when I was thinking of the shows, I was like, I got to think of the show or the movie where I got my namesake from, and that's Gridiron Gang. So Gridiron Gang, that's a good one. But when I think about it, I would say I can't think of anything better than Friday Night Lights, man. It's just Texas football based on true story, West Texas football, but it stands the test of time. Texas football is, and that's why I do this show, is to shine a light on East Texas football and why it's important all over Texas, but really here in East Texas where we're rooted at. Because a lot of times I feel like East Texas schools get left out.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it was either Friday Night Lights or Varsity Blues. We had a kid come in from California on a visit, and we were driving him back to his hotel, and he finally was like, I said, you got any questions? He goes, yeah, I got a question. Is that stuff in the movies really real? And we were like, yeah, most of it kind of is, yeah. So it's a shock for some people when they come down here and they finally get a taste of Texas football and just the atmosphere on Friday nights. I heard you talking about Thursday Night Lights with Coach Lewis and Friday Night Lights, and there's just something about it. I don't know that people not from here, not from East Texas, realize it.
In a town like yours, what town is it? Is it Turner Town?
No, we're actually in New London.
New London. Okay. Well, still New
Mm-hmm.
London, Turner Town, all those little towns.
It's right there, yeah.
When you've got a program like West Rusk, one that is consistent and has been consistent, town shut down. The town is shut. It's a ghost town on Friday nights, and everybody's going to be at Bruce Bradshaw Stadium, right?
Oh, yeah.
Every Friday night cheering on the Raiders. Does that sound right to you?
That is correct. And, if you pull up to the stadium and you look on our sign, and it says home of the original Friday Night Lights. So that's one of those deals where, we were one of the first schools, surely in East Texas, that had a Friday night game and played under the lights. I think it was the oil field guys brought their lights out, if I remember the story right. We played under them. So
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Coach, I did this with coach. I'm gonna do this with every coach this season. I'm gonna figure out if you're an offensive or defensive guy just based off these two questions here, and that is, would you rather win a game 48-0 or 6-0?
48.
48. Okay, you like scoring points. Would you rather win a game with a game-winning touchdown or a goal line stand?
We've done both, and I got to say, I like the game-winning touchdown better.
Okay, so you're an offensive-minded guy. It seems like.
Oh yeah.
I went to the guy that plays for the Raiders. That's Tyree. You said.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think he was playing the last time I went to the Raiders game. West Rusk Raiders. They played. Yeah, because he went West Rusk Raiders, Texas Tech Red Raiders, and then the Las Vegas Raiders, right?
You're Raider for life right now.
Yeah. So I think he was playing for West Rusk when I went to their game against Gladewater. 2 years in a row, man, they had absolute nail biters. And I think they traded both years. West Rusk beat them in Gladewater, I think, and then Gladewater turned around and beat them in West Rusk on like a fourth and goal line stand.
Mm-hmm.
But both incredible games, both pretty good programs. I would love to see Joaquin play y'all. just because, like I said the other night, we may not come out on the winning end, but I think we'll be better for it. And I've always been, I'm not a coach, but I would coach if ever given the opportunity. But I've always been about the mindset. If I have a 6-man district, I would rather go 0-5 in non-district and go 5-0 in district, and then go 10-0 and then lose in the first round of the playoff because I wasn't prepared and I didn't play stiff competition. That's my mindset. I don't know how most coaches think, but that's how I think.
Well, that's the big thing now is, you sit there and you look at who we have to play in the playoffs when you got Newton and Dangerfield, and then you have to wrap around and still play our district again, possibly. Then you go down and you're playing Tidehaven and then Gunner. So if you don't find a way to get yourself ready early, and even though our district, I think, prepares us for that stuff, playing your Malakoffs and Tatums, I think, does help you down the road.
And Malakoff, that's who you open up with this week, right? At
We
West Rusk?
We open up with them Friday night.
Okay. And they're a pretty good program. They've been state championship the last few years. They did not win it this past year, but they were there nonetheless.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting this Friday night. I'll be pulling for you, Coach.
I appreciate it.
And the last question I've got for you, I'm going to ask this question every week too, every time I interview. I've been through New London. I've been through Turnertown. I've been all over that area, and I don't know where there is a spot to eat at. So if you can tell me one, what is the spot to get some grub at in New London?
So you beat me to it because I've always had this plan that when we're in Arlington, I'm going to mention these names because they feed every coach up here. So the donut shop normally handles us in the morning, and they started getting a lunch menu right across the street from the school. Obviously, the museum for the explosion. Evidently, they got daily specials. We found out, and they got quesadillas and meatloaf. But the coach's favorite is down the road at a place called Bunny's. It's a little gas station, and they got.
Station?
Oh yeah,
I know where that's at.
Our coaches pretty much live there. We're probably going to have to use them as a sponsor at some point.
That's what I was going to say. That's the only thing I know of over there is the Bunny's gas station.
So that's our 3 spots.
Well, that must be the go-to spot then, man. Well, I guess that's it, Coach. I didn't take up too much time, but that's all I got for you, man. I hope y'all have a great year. Stay healthy, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the playoffs. Okay, Coach?
All right, Coach. I appreciate you having me on.